Hello boys and girls, I know that I'm late to this, but I'm sorry, I've been busy doing some public masturbation on a tropical island, but now I'm back feeling more satisfied than ever. And today I'm incredibly mad. I'm so mad that I want to slap Mike Tyson and his mother. No, I'm just kidding about his mother. But I'm so mad because one of my favorite perks in Dead by Daylight, Dead Hard, is getting a huge nerf once again. It means that this perk is gonna be most of the time useless. So let me explain exactly why I'm mad and what is changing. But before that, don't forget to subscribe if you want to suck my big fucking juicy cock. Anyway, once upon the time, Dead Hard was considered to be the best perk in Dead by Daylight. It was by far the most used survivor perk in Dead by Daylight. Like literally, even my grandma would play with Dead Hard. So understandably, developers of Dead by Daylight decided to balance this game a little, and they decided to nerf Dead Hard so people play with other perks a little more. And I was really upset. I thought, oh no, my favorite perk in this game is getting a nerf. What will be a replacement for Dead Hard? And I think most people thought that this nerf would kill Dead Hard. I thought that this perk would never be popular again. But it turns out that after the nerf, Dead Hard was still strong as fuck, and I believe it still stayed as the most used survivor perk in the game. In fact, it saved me from getting hit by the killer so many times. I even made a video, the most annoying perk in Dead by Daylight, and there I talk about Dead Hard even after this perk was hit by this nerf. And I know that many of you motherfuckers are gonna say, Dead Hard is a trash perk, it was useless anyway. Well, if you are one of those people, I got to tell you that in my opinion, for the past like 6 months or so, the best anti-tunneling build in the game was Dead Hard, Decisive Strike, Off the Record, and Adrenaline. It probably has to be my favorite build of all time, and Dead Hard plays a big role in this build. But sadly for me, soon this build is not gonna work anymore, because Dead Hard is getting a big nerf once again. But this time, I believe that we might have to say that final goodbye to Dead Hard. After so many years of this perk dominating Dead by Daylight, well, I don't believe it will dominate this game again, because this nerf is actually really big, and I'm pretty mad because I will have to find an alternative to Dead Hard in Dead by Daylight. And I already, I'm in love with Dead Hard as it is, and it kinda pisses me off, but I understand that developers need to make these balance changes because everybody is using and abusing Dead Hard. And yeah, Dead Hard is very annoying to face for killers, and I do understand why it's getting nerfed. But anyway, let me explain all of the changes that are coming to Dead Hard. So apparently now you will have to safely unhook one survivor to be able to activate your Dead Hard. And I'm not kidding, to make your Dead Hard work, you will have to safely unhook one survivor. Then you will be able to use your Dead Hard once. And to use this perk more than once per match, you will have to unhook more than one survivor. You will have to unhook one survivor, then you will be able to use your Dead Hard once. If you want to use your Dead Hard once again, you will have to unhook one more survivor. And this is a bit too crazy. I believe this literally destroys the purpose of Dead Hard, because these exhaustion perks, and Dead Hard is an exhaustion perk, they are in this game to help survivors escape the killer during chases. Perks like Light, Adrenaline, Sprint Burst, Balanced Landing, all of these perks are the most useful when you are in a chase and when the killer is about to get you, and then boom, you use one of those perks and you escape the killer. These exhaustion perks are supposed to help you with that. But Dead Hard is getting a nerf, and you might start getting chased by the killer within the first 5 seconds of the match, and you might not be able to unhook anybody. It means that the killer hits you and there's no exhaustion perk that you can use. It's literally, it makes this perk pointless. And yeah, I can still see people who will love Dead Hard as it is, probably because of nostalgia more than anything, but I'm not one of those people. I will probably change Dead Hard. I will switch it for something else like Light probably, and then I will use Windows of Opportunity because it combines very well with Light. But it's a bit annoying for me because I just started playing a lot of Survivor, and like this build with Dead Hard is like my favorite. It's like in my heart, and knowing that now I have to replace it with something else, of course I can still play with Dead Hard, but knowing that it won't help me most of the time. And you know, Dead Hard was always like a risky perk. Sometimes you would accidentally press E a bit earlier, and that will fuck your Dead Hard up, and the killer will hit you, and then you will go down no matter what. And knowing now that this perk is more risky than ever before, I don't even think that it's worth taking that risk, you know what I mean? But yeah, Dead Hard is just one out of multiple controversial changes that are coming in the next PTB, and I wanted to talk specifically about this change because it affects me personally. It's like one of the most important perks for me personally, but I probably won't make a separate video talking about these upcoming changes, so I'm just gonna quickly touch some of the other controversial changes that are coming to the game, just expressing my opinion. For example, Scourge Hook Pain Resonance. It is probably my favorite killer perk in the game as of this moment, and it's getting a big nerf. Like, it used to be that you would hook a survivor on a Scourge Hook, and then the generator with the most progress would explode, losing a bunch of progress, and you can do it literally for like 9 times, 12 times. It's a very strong and good perk, but now it's becoming pointless because apparently you will only be able to do it once per survivor, and I will have to look for an alternative for every single killer that I got this perk on. Also, Call of Brine is getting a big nerf. It's probably being nerfed just to balance the Skull Merchant, because I don't see the reason to nerf this perk. I mean, killers in this game are seriously underpowered compared to survivors, and all of these killer like nerfs, like they are nerfing killers indirectly by nerfing their perks. I don't see the point of doing that. I believe that the balance in this game is gonna get out of hand even more than it is right now, and Dead by Daylight has never been balanced well, but after this patch I don't see that this patch, like, I don't see how this patch can help the game in a good direction. I know that Circle of Healing is getting a big nerf. I mean, I was never a fan of Circle of Healing, and I'm happy with the nerf that perk is getting, because it was annoying to play killer and to face survivors using Circle of Healing. Also, healing speeds are gonna get a big nerf, like survivors will take longer to heal each other, and I don't see that as a big problem, but I see many YouTubers making it to be like a big deal. I mean, this has to be the most controversial or one of the most controversial patches in Dead by Daylight's history, and I have no idea what metas will develop over time, and I don't know how will Dead by Daylight look after this patch. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I'm a bit worried about Dead by Daylight in the future because like this patch, I don't know if I'm happy about it. I might be more towards a negative like side than towards a positive side. But comment what do you think about it. Do you like the changes or do you not? And subscribe if you like Dead by Daylight. Ciao.